Hey guys, Spsa here, and I'm going to be remaking a video I made 3 years ago. How to make a plush video. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. So first, you're going to need some victims you brought here against your will. I mean, plushes to make your video. Why am I here again? Don't worry about it. Anyway, next you're going to need a camera. Now, if you're starting out, just use your phone. Even 10 years later, I still just use my phone. But if applicable, you can also use like a actual camera or whatever.
Okay, that's fun and all, but filming's really boring. What's next, Miss Video Making Lady?
Ouch. And next is editing. This part's kinda tedious, but there are a couple things I want to go over.
First up is the means to edit the video. Now there are several ways to do this, both on PC and mobile. PC has a few notable editing softwares, but if you're on mobile like I am, I just use CapCut. If you're on an iPhone, iMovie is still a choice for you, but since I'm not on an iPhone and I had bad luck with iMovie in the past, I've been using CapCut.
Breaking news, guy! This scene requires a bit more effort than it did before to edit. SPC's gonna show you how to do that.
Yes, I am, because yes, this scene is a bit more involved to edit than it was back when I made this video in 2022.
So, first step in this process is, of course, picking your whatever you need to edit. In this case, it's this scene right here.
Breaking news, guy! This scene requires...
Okay. Anyway, now that you have that covered, you are going to need to remove the background. Now, CapCut has a really easy tool for this. It's locked behind a paywall, unfortunately, but you can just record the footage with your screen recorder to get around this, so yeah, it's not that hard, but I have a trial for CapCut's premium features right now, so I can just auto removal. And now you can see it removes the background. As you can see, it removes the background. Alright, so to get the background for this, I just looked up breaking news backgrounds on Google Images and just picked one. I believe I picked I picked this one, so, yeah, let me show you, what that looks like. So, to get the background, to be how you want it to be, you go to, background in CapCut's menu, you hit it, and then you do color, image, blur. I do image, of course, and then you just find it in your camera roll. I'm going to have to censor some stuff in my camera roll, but I'll do that when I edit the video together. Now, I also do a couple other things. mainly overlays, and that's a similar process. You add overlay and then add the overlays you want to pick, which I just found my overlays on Google Images too. So I'm going to show you what that looks like when I get it all put together. So here is the finished scene. And then next, I'm going to show you how I put the breaking news thing together at the beginning with the song and stuff. I'll show you how to put that together.
Breaking news, guy. This scene requires a bit more effort than it did before to edit. SPC's gonna show you how to do that.
I'll add the text later in post because I haven't decided what I want the headline to say, but I'll go over text later in the video when I show you how to do transitions. So anyway, or title, time cards, or whatever. But anyway, on to what I said I was going to do next.
So, to do the actual intro to the breaking news segment, I just looked up breaking news intro on YouTube, and right here is the one I use. I significantly shortened it to, of course, fit the iMovie breaking news music, but that is the one I use. Speaking of, so obviously if you're using iMovie, you can just go in and add, or you can just go in and select the iMovie broadcast news sound or whatever it's called today. I haven't used iMovie since 2023, so I don't know if they've changed anything since then. But since I'm on an Android phone, I have to go and find the music. And luckily, there are re-uploads of the iMovie music on YouTube, and the one we're looking for is this one. Yep, and I'm going to show you what those two clips look like mashed together, because I've already done the editing for this clip just a long time ago when I first started using it, so I'm just gonna grab that and show you what that looks like. So anyway, here's what that looks like. Anyway, next is time cards, and then after that will be thumbnail. Fortunately, time cards are really easy. Now, if you got one, then use a disembodied voice in the sky. Unfortunately, I do not have one anymore, because I had to forcibly reboot a timeline and erase all my characters' memories.
You what?
Nothing. Anyway, so we're gonna have to make do without one. So, anyway, take it away, voiceover Spsa.
Alright, fortunately, yeah, time cards are really easy. I use CapCut's library feature, which has a lot of stuff in it, but it has that in it. I'm going to have to keep that in mind. But for this, we're just going to need a black screen. Now, I use a custom font because I, for some dumb reason, really wanted access to the font I used to use in Plush videos before switching to CapCut, so I went to Reddit and asked them to find the font for me, and they did, and I have it now. It is, if we go into my fonts, because CapCut lets you import custom fonts, That's something iMovie doesn't let you do, but if you have iMovie, then you have access to this font anyway. But it is this one. If you want to use it, then look it up. But yeah, just tap on that, or if you don't, or if you want a different font, CapCut has a whole bunch of pre-made fonts for you to use, so that's cool. And then, so I just type, yeah, you can of course just type whatever you want. I do mine in all caps since that's how it was in iMovie, but you don't have to. But just type whatever you want here. There we go. And then you can go styles. There are various different ones that look like this. You can change the color and stuff, but I'm just gonna keep it standard. And then effects. Again, if you're into that, then you can use those. I tend not to, but I am trying to branch out my editing style, as you saw in previous videos, so maybe I'll start using those. And then animations, I tend to go with the typewriter animation because I like that one, but there are a whole slew of animations you can use. Bubbles, that's your thing. Oh, there's like, that's neat. I'm gonna have to mess around with some of these. And then presets. Oh, you can save. Okay, that might save me some time for these. But yeah. And then you just drag the text to the end of your scene here, and here's what you got. And that's it. Now it's on to thumbnail. So for thumbnail, I still use Canva, and the process is pretty much still identical. You just search for YouTube thumbnail as your preset. Go into here, and I'm going to just make a very similar thumbnail to the thumbnail I made in the original video. So I have most of the assets for it, and as you can see, I've gotten more assets since that original video because I've used a lot of stuff. I don't know what I used that for, but yeah. Anyway, back on task. So I'm going to use the Hamilton background because why not? I call this the Hamilton background because it's the background used on Hamilton's album cover. So why not use that? And then of course we need Spsa. She is somewhere. Where is she? Where is she? Here she is. Yeah, I used the same asset I used 2 years ago because I could update my assets, but I don't really feel like it. And then I need SML Mario because that's who I used in place of Mario and Luigi in these or in this video, not these videos, what? This video. So where is he? Here he is. And then I can just position her. I can just position him in her hand. Oh my god. Like that. That is fine. And then, of course, I'm just gonna put the phone in her other hand. And despite the fact that I don't use an iPhone anymore, I'm just gonna recycle assets to save time. And then for the heading, for the text, for some reason Canva makes it kind of difficult to edit text, but for this we're going to do Spsa Rebooted. How to make a Plush video. There we go. And then, of course, just export it out. And boom. Thumbnail. So finally, getting your video on YouTube. Your video on YouTube is the exact same process it's always been. You just come down here, go to whichever scene or whichever video you want to upload. In my case, it's gonna be this one.
Breaking news, guy! This scene requires a bit more effort than it did before to edit. SPC's gonna show you how to do that.
Yep. And then I'm just gonna title it Breaking News. Okay. No. Okay. 2025. There we go. And you can just add your description. And again, I'm going to chuck this in my random videos playlist. And there you go. Uploading a video is that easy. And it doesn't show it here, but clicking the subscribe button is also really easy.
As for music and stuff, I use a mix of all sorts of stuff. Video game music, YouTube audio library music when applicable. Just seek out some music you want to use and use it. That's really all I have for that. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe and all that stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.